Constitutional and individual dignity. The Supreme Court, through numerous landmark judgments, has consistently emphasized the importance of the right to life and individual dignity under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. The principle forms the cornerstone of a just and equitable society. Core concern is communal identity versus individual freedom, impact of communal identity on individual freedom, restrictions on personal freedom. Communal identity based on factors like caste, religion, or nationality can impose limitations on personal freedom and autonomy. For instance, individuals might face societal or institutional pressure to conform to norms associated with their group, thereby curbing their ability to express themselves freely. Globally, similar challenges exist. For example, ethnic and religious minorities in many countries often encounter restrictions on their cultural or personal expression. Neglect of uniqueness, treating individuals merely as representatives of a group undermines their individuality and intrinsic worth. In South Africa, post apartheid reforms emphasized individual dignity to counter systematic dehumanization caused by racial categorization. Issue of categorization. People are often judged based on their communal identity rather than their individual ability or personalities. For example, gender based stereotypes globally have limited women's role in leadership positions, emphasizing the need for individual merit to override group based biases. Role of Constitution in protecting individual dignity. Safeguarding individual rights. The Indian Constitution provides a comprehensive framework to protect the dignity and liberty of all citizens through fundamental rights enshrined in Part 3. Article 14 ensures equality before law and equal protection of the laws, prohibiting discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Article 19 through 22 guarantees freedom such as speech, assembly, movement, and protection from arbitrary detention. Article 21 secures the right to life and personal liberty, interpreted expansively to include the right to live with dignity. Countries like Germany incorporate similar provisions. The German Basic Law enshrines human dignity as inviolable, forming the basis of all state authority. In the landmark case of Menka Gandhi versus Union of India, 1978, the Supreme Court expanded the scope of Article 21, ruling that any law depriving personal liberty must adhere to the principles of fairness, justice, and reasonableness. The decision has parallels with US Supreme Court's interpretation of due process clause, ensuring that no individual is deprived of life, liberty, or property without lawful procedures. Article 326 provides universal adult suffrage, empowering every citizen to participate equally in democratic processes. This ensures political dignity and inclusivity, similar to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which recognizes the right to political participation as a fundamental human right. The Constitution's checks and balances prevent the concentration of power, safeguarding individual dignity against potential misuse by the states or other entities. Examples include judicial reviews and autonomy of institutions like Election Commission of India. Social and systemic issues affecting individual dignity, community rights versus individual rights. Overemphasis on communal identities such as caste, religion, or nationality often weakens individual dignity. In countries like Myanmar, the prioritization of communal identity has led to persecution of minorities such as Rohingya Muslims, highlighting the consequences of placing collective identity above individual rights. Lack of social trust and cooperation. Distrust among citizens hinders collective rights to uphold constitutional values. Societies like Scandinavia, known for high levels of societal trust, demonstrate the positive impact of cooperation on fostering individual and collective dignity. Concentration of wealth and power, unequal distribution of resources often prioritizes the interest of a few, undermining the dignity of marginalized groups. Globally, income inequality has prompted movements like UN Sustainable Development Goals, which aim to reduce inequalities within and among countries. Legal framework and evolving dignity, flexibility of the Constitution, and protecting dignity. Basic structure doctrines established in Keshwanand Bharati versus State of Kerala. This doctrine safeguards fundamental principles of the Constitution, including individual dignity. The 103rd Constitutional Amendment introduced 10% reservation for economically weaker sections, promoting equity and addressing historical disadvantages. The Constitution allows for discussions and amendments on justice and equality. Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019 acknowledged the rights and dignity of transgender individuals, providing legal recognition and protection. Internationally, frameworks like Canada's Charter of Rights and Freedoms have been amended from over time to address evolving societal needs, ensuring the continued protection of dignity and equality. The Indian Constitution remains a living document adapting to societal changes while ensuring the protection of individual dignity by balancing the safeguarding of fundamental rights with the need of progressive reforms. It continues to uphold the principles of justice, equality, and liberty in a diverse and dynamic society. The adaptability underscores its relevance as a model for democratic governance worldwide.